we're going to start with lying down today. Have your feet parted, your palms up to the sky. Close the eyes. And we're just going to begin with some simple breathing. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Have a sense of breathing into the chest, relaxing the body, and exhaling out through the nose. You may be able to start to deepen your breath, and you may even be able to find a slight constriction in the back of the throat, so the breath becomes audible to yourself. Release any fight that you feel internally. There may be noises around, distractions, and just release any demands or expectations you have. Focus in on the breath. Beginning to just really slow it down. As you breathe in, have a sense of just opening out through the body. And as you exhale, have a sense of just really surrendering into the breath. In through the nose, out through the nose. And it's really important just to kind of feel into how it is for you today. How the body is. Maybe how the emotions are. Maybe there's some fatigue in the body or some anxiety. And it's really important not to kind of fight any of it. Just be with what's here today. So one of the first principles in yoga is simply a word called Ahimsa, which means to release the fight, to release any force, to kind of just accept what's happening. So you're breathing into the chest, out through the heart, being aware that you're breathing a nasal breath. And over time, you'll start to build that breath. It will start to deepen, strengthen. Just being aware of any overexertion or any kind of over-trying. The mind can have lots of kind of chatter going on, and it's totally fine. So, one of the first parts of yoga is postures. Basically, we use the postures to start to kind of clean the system through. It'll also help to build some strength and some mobility so that you become more and more supple, more and more grounded. And we recognize that everything kind of comes off the spine. So we're going to begin the posture part of the practice today by moving into the spine and coordinating the breath with the movement. So this first sequence is the spinal sequence. And we're going to continue to use this breath in through the nose and out through the nose as we move through the postures. So when you're ready, you're going to bring yourself up onto your mat, and we're going to take a bow and baby pose. Okay? So slowly just start to come up. So baby pose, you're going to bring your hands out in front of you and send your bum back towards your heels. And again, just start to deepen your breath in through the nose and out through the nose. You may be able to get a little bit of movement in the spine. So for some of you, you may find this kind of posture a little bit challenging if the back is tight. So you can grab a block and you can rest your head on the block. And just kind of feel into how the body is today. And just being aware that the most important part is simply to allow the breath to guide you. Deepening in through the nose and out through the nose. And you can stretch those hands out in front, spread into the fingers, and send that bum back towards your heels. So you'll get a nice stretch out across the spine. You'll get a squeeze of the abdomen, wringing out the digestive system. And then when you're ready, you're going to come up onto all fours. Bring the hands back in line underneath the shoulders. And just kind of feel a grounding. So sending some weight into your hands and into your knees. That's it. Spread into the fingers. And then use your inhale. You're going to lift and look up. As you dip the spine and roll the shoulders back, opening up through the front body into your dog tilt. And then exhale, you're going to roll your spine, tuck under your tailbone, and spread out across the top of the back. And then you're going to go back into cat tilt. Inhale. Exhale, roll. So using the breath with the movement. Inhale, open. And see if you can kind of pull those shoulders back and open up through the chest. That's it, well done. And your gaze is looking up between your eyebrows. Exhale, send the breath down your back. Tuck the tailbone under. You tuck your chin in, and you may be able to lift up through your pelvic floor. Inhale, lift. And again, kind of pulling that shoulder loop back, opening up the chest. That's it, being aware of that grounding in the hands. Exhale, roll. So see if you can spread into the tops of the shoulders, across the top of your back. That's it. One more. Inhale, lift. And then we're going to travel back towards the heels and we're going to come into baby pose. So again, spread into your fingers and stretch those arms out if you can. Sending the bum back towards the heels. And we're going to take 4 breaths here, in through the nose and out through the nose. And with each exhale, have a sense of just relaxing and surrendering in. And then from here, we're going to move forwards and we're going to come into our Cobra pose. So if you drop your elbows down to the floor, spread into the fingers, and then keeping the chest nice and low, you may be able to travel through and up into Cobra. So we've got a few different adaptations that we can do. So from baby, you can travel up onto all fours, and then just start to dip the hips down and roll the shoulders down your back. This is full Cobra. So with full Cobra, you're going to roll your shoulders back between the shoulder blades, so you're really squeezing, opening up through the front body. See if you can point out those back toes And you may be able to sway the hips from side to side. That's it, well done. And then see if you can find a lift and an openness in the chest. That's it. And then we're going to travel back into baby. And we're going to go through cat, dog, baby, into Cobra again, using some of the adaptions, okay? So inhale, raise yourself up, coming into dog tilt. Dipping the spine, it's extending out through the tailbone. Exhale, roll, tucking the pelvis under, stretching out through the upper part of your back. Inhale, lift, look up. Back into baby. Just being aware of that breath. And then we're going to come forwards into our Cobra. Keeping the chest low if you can. So that transition takes a little bit of time to build up. So for some of you, you can bring your hands onto the mat and you can come into Sphinx Pose. So if you guys want to have a little play with Sphinx Pose, that's it. Come down onto your elbows, spread into your fingers, and then you're going to roll your shoulders down your back, and you're going to inhale, lift, look up. And then exhale down. Inhale, lift. That's it. Exhale down. So just building some strength in the lower back as you're coming up. That's it. So the other adaptation you can do is you can bring the hands out in front and you can come into seal's pose. That's it. Cool. That's it. Make any shuffles or adjustments you need. So that takes some of the strain off the wrists, but you're still kind of opening up through the front body. That's it. And then you're going to drop those elbows down. Bring the hands back in line underneath the, next to the shoulders. And then we're going to inhale, lift. And then we're going to come into our downward dog. Okay, so downward dog, you tuck under the toes. And then you're going to lift your bum. And you're going to come up into an upside down V shape. Okay, so that may not be available today. What you can do is you can stay on your knees and you can come into an adapted downward dog, sending the head down into the mat. Essentially, we want a nice long spine. Okay, so if you just come forwards a little bit onto your mat, cool. Spread into your fingers, okay? So you want to have a nice grounding through the hands. And then if you bend your knees and get your spine nice and long, that's it, cool. So over time, the spine will start to release. And we want to open up through the tailbone. You want your feet hip width apart. That's it. And if you just come a little bit forwards on your mat, cool. And bring your feet together a little bit more. So Andy has adapted this posture so that his foot is in the middle of the mat to naturally create more stability and more balance. So you can have a little play with that at home. But basically what we want to do is start to ground the heels into the mat, okay? So you're going to feel the calves, the backs of the hamstrings, and then we're going to drop the knees down, and we're going to inhale into that dog tilt, look up. Exhale back into baby. That's it, take a rest. You may need to kind of get some movement in the wrists if they get a little bit sticky in that downward dog position. And then we're just going to bring that sequence together one more time, okay? So inhale, lift, look up. Dog tilt. That's it. Exhale, tuck the tailbone under, stretch through the spine, and just be aware of that pelvic floor lifting, grounding through the hands. Inhale, lift, look up. Exhale, back baby.
So breath and movement, we're moving into that kind of more fluid part of the flow. Inhale, come forwards and up, Cobra. So find your adaptation. So remember, you got your Sphinx Pose, you got your Seals Pose, sway the hips from side to side, and see if you can kind of start to pulse it. So as you drop down, you exhale and release down. That's it. And then recognize, as you inhale, you can intensify the stretch as you come up. That's it. Roll those shoulders away from the ears if you can. Exhale down. Inhale, one more lift, look up. That's it. And again, encourage the chest to open. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. And then exhale back into downward dog. So, finding your adaptation, you can either stay on your knees, bring the hands down, or if you find it too intense on the wrists, you can have your legs straight, but come onto your elbows. So have a little play with that, and we're going to stay here for a couple of breaths. Shooting out through the tailbone, and you're looking back towards your feet, and then drop the knees down. Inhale, lift, look up. Exhale back into baby. And just take a couple of breaths here. So that would complete that first spinal sequence. Then what I'd like you guys to do is just come up, and then you're going to lie yourselves down on your back. So we've done the posture training. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do some relaxation training combined with some breathing training as well. Okay, so with your Shavasana, get your spine nice and long. Kind of allow the trunk of the body to move away from the base of the body. Have the palms up to the sky. Close the eyes. And just relax your body into the ground. So Shavasana means simply to drop your body and also to kind of release from the mind. What we're going to do is we're going to take some double breaths, okay? So that's in through the nose and out through the mouth. So we're going to take 10 double breaths, and then we're going to drop into stillness, okay? So you can join in with my rhythm. We're going to start on an inhale. Last one. Now take a nice deep inhale through the nose. Hold for a second and then slowly release an ah breath out through the mouth as an exhale. Resist the urge to fidget. Stay in your body and just have a sense of relaxing and opening. Relaxing the body, being with that energized stillness. We'll take our second round of 10. So that may be enough for some of you at home. But you can join in with my rhythm, in through the nose and out through the mouth, using the belly as the pump. Take a deep inhale through the nose. And slowly exhale out through the mouth.
There'll be energized stillness. Your job is simply to open, to soften, to resist the urge to go out to any thoughts and just stay with what's happening in the body. And again, we're going to come back to that word Ahimsa, without force. Release any trying. Third and final round, in through the nose, out through the mouth, using the belly as the pump. Deep inhale through the nose. And release an R breath out through the mouth. Now we're going to do a body rotation to maintain an awareness of the physical body whilst in this deep, relaxed state. So with your attention, go to the tips of your toes, between your toes, soles of your feet, tops of your feet, ankles, calves, shins, backs of knees, kneecaps, backs of thighs, fronts of thighs, tailbone, pubic bone, hip bones, pelvic floor, dip in the spine, navel center, between your shoulder blades, heart, base of your neck, pit of the throat, back of the head, eyebrow center, top of the head. Now go to your eyebrows, eyes, nose, cheeks, ears, soft palate of your mouth, lips, chin, fingertips, backs of your hands, palms. Be aware of the energy in your palms, wrists, forearms, elbows, tops of your arms, front body, back body, whole body, whole body, whole body. Open. You've now done the practice of Hatha Yoga with a practice called Nyasa, body rotation. We've covered posture training, breathing training, and relaxation training. Now bring your awareness back into your physical body. Slowly deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Start to blink your eyes open. And in your own time, you may be able to find your seat and bring yourself up. Well done. So in yoga, we have a word called Namaste, which means I bow to that in you that's in me. Namaste.